Congratulations on getting your new website. This is an introduction to the administrative tools in the back-end or administrator area of your website. First thing we're going to talk about is accessing the website login panel. What you want to do is open up your browser, and in the browser address bar you're going to type yourdomainname.com with a / and then after the / you're going to add wp-admin or wp-login.php. I always use the wp-admin, and it just automatically populates wp-login.php. Now, on this view, you can see where we have already gotten into the back side of the website, and again it's populated with a wp-admin once you're on the inside. So again, here you are, yourdomainname.com with a / wp-admin, and then hit find or search or your enter button, and then you will get this panel you see on the right here, where you will be asked to put in your username and your password, and I recommend that you click Remember Me. Depending on the browser that you're using, you will also get an option once you've done that and clicked Login. An option will pop up somewhere on your screen and ask you if you want that password remembered. That is a function of your browser, and so depending on the browser you're using, you'll find that someplace, and I would recommend you ask it to remember your login. So once you get to this login page, you're going to enter your username and your password. Our team has provided you with both of those. Your username can never be reset. It is always whatever it was assigned to you will always be that. It might be an email address, and it could just be a word or a random phrase. Regardless, it is impossible to change the username once it has been set up. So you want to make sure that you've saved that in an easy way to find. Depending on the kind of business you are, you may want to save this in a place that once you're no longer working at this company, someone else is able to use your administrator access to set up a new user, so that once you're gone, others are able to administrate the back end. I also recommend saving this video so that others can do the administration on the inside of the website as well. Your password is able to be modified. It is also able to be changed. Your username is case sensitive, and so make sure your capitalization locks are not on, and that you are adding the appropriate capitalization where necessary. It is sensitive in both the username and the password. And you'll see here where I have enter your username, not email address. Well, in some cases, the username is an email address, and when that is the case, you will want to use the email address. So now we are in what I refer to often as the back end of your website, or the administration panel. I'm going to slide over here to the actual live back end of a website. In fact, it's the back end of the Tampa Bay Web Consultants website. Most of the coding and setup of our websites use this layout that you see on the left side here. If yours is different, everything I'm going to share with you in this video is still the same. Sometimes certain themes or certain websites require additional support and additional services, coding, software, and it's all laid out here on the left side where you see my cursor going up and down. So if yours looks a little bit different, it doesn't matter. The same functionality will occur or is appropriate and applicable in this video. All right, so here we are in the dashboard, and this is what you're going to see, and this is the basic dashboard of every WordPress site. So next, what we want to do is, is talk about media. Your WordPress has a media area. And when you hover over media, you'll see that a pop-out menu comes up and it says library and add new. The library, if I were to click that, will take you right to the library where all media for your website, that would be everything from images to documents to music, anything that's on your website in the form of an attachment or document or something like that, an image, is in the media library. If I want to add new, I would click the add new button right here. What I'm going to do now is teach you how to add media. So just for speed, I have already opened up the windows. So if I were you, I would be clicking the library. So this tab is going to take me right there. So this is what the library in the back end of this website looks like. Every image you see on our website is in this library. Any other kinds of media we would be back here as well. So I'm going to create some pages today and show you how to do that and how to edit pages. If I'm going to add media before I start a page, I would click add new, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. So you have a drag and drop right here. You can do it the old-fashioned way and click select files, and you'll understand what to do after that, because it's very similar to many other times that you have selected a file to have it uploaded to something. But you see this file here on the side of my window. I can actually drag and drop that right in to the media file. It takes a second or two for it to load up. And once it does and crunches, it is now available for me to use. I'm going to click edit just so you can see that it is now in my library. If I go back over here and click on media again, it is just clicking on media will actually take me straight into my library. You're going to see that it is here. And so I've clicked on it, and here is my media. Over here is the file URL or the file name that it is stored under. So if I were to copy and select and copy this whole address right here, and it goes way out here, so you'll see that if you were going to copy and select it, you would want to make sure that you capture the whole name. So what you would do is copy and select that to find this file, but it's not necessary, and it's not even necessary that you remember what I just said to you, because I'm going to show you an easier way to do that. So here's your dimensions of your file. This is a very large file, and I recommend that you not upload files that are greater than 1 megabyte. There is software and there are techniques to minimize the size of an image or document so that it does not take this amount of space. A document this large slows down the loading of the page, and your viewers will become frustrated and move on. They won't wait for your page to load. So that is how you load media. You would do the same thing if you were loading a PDF document or an audio or video, and I will show you that in just a minute. What we're going to do now is upload a document and talk about how to link your document to content. So we'll go do the same thing. So here we are on the left. I'm going to click Add New, and I will also in a few minutes show you how to add new media, or new documents to a new post or a new page as well. But for the purpose of this explanation, I want to show you how to do this. So you see where I just slid a PDF document. In this case, it's actually a PDF image. But if I had a document right here that was an acceptable file type, and I usually load up PDF files and not typically a Word file, although a Word file is acceptable. And you can see here it is ready for me to click right there, or I can go to the media library, hit refresh, because this is a view of what was in there a minute ago, and here is my new icon. So I'm going to actually delete these right now because I want to show you how to do this in another way. Plus, it doesn't hurt for you to see how easily you can delete an image. So I'm going to delete the other image that I installed. Okay, so now you've seen how to upload an image, and if this were a document, you would upload it in exactly the same way. I'm going to slide back over here, and now what I'm going to do is create a page and a post, and I'm going to show you how to upload a PDF document and link it inside of the page or the post. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go to Pages. You see this right here. I'm going to add new page. When I click on that, a new page is going to open up. In order to create a new page, you have to enter a title. So you would enter the title of your new page, just like I have done right here. You also will see how there's two tabs here? You have a visual tab and a text tab over here on the right. So use the visual tab. If you are proficient at HTML and CSS, you can use the text tag. This is where you This is where you input using CSS, HTML. So I'm going to go back to the visual, which is where you would need to be, and I'm going to create a quick page. You want to use title tags. Here's a heading tag, a style of the text that I'm going to put in here. And I am just typing like I would if I were using a Word document. All right, so that is the size of the text when you use heading 1, and that is a title size text. I'm going to click over here on the right side on the text so you can see the HTML coding that comes in with it. Because it is a heading code, it's an H1 tag, and you can see how it automatically puts that in there for you. So the next thing I'm going to do, now when I hit enter, you can see that it takes it right back to paragraph type. And I'm going to type really quickly something that's silly. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, correct my T. So now I'm going to do two things. I'm going to add an image, and I am going to also add a document for them to download. So I think I want my image to be to the left side here of this title, and I'm going to go right here to media. See where it says add media right here? I'm going to click that. Now it's going to allow me to add anything that's in my library, or I can go over to any image or whatever it is I was going to add there in my computer, in a folder, in a file on my computer, and I can actually drag and drop it. So I've added an image here that I'm just going to drag and drop. See how simple that is? Now if that image was already here, I would simply just click on it and add it in there. Now this image is very, very large, like we looked at a minute ago. You see how large it's 3000 by 1955 pixels, and it's 3 megabytes large. So I just wanted to show you how to drag and drop something in there. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete it. I can edit its size if I don't want it to be that big. I can also delete it permanently, and I'm going to go ahead and delete it again. And this will occur as quickly as your internet connection is. So if you have a slow internet connection, it could likely take a little longer than what you're seeing here. So I'm going to actually click on the social media and put that image in there. All I have to do is go down here to the bottom and click Insert into Page. And there it is. Now, I don't know that I like the way this is lining up, and for the most part, the visual editor is a what you see is what you get editor. They used to call that a WYSIWYG, and that was the acronym for it. And it's not always what you see is what you get, but it is most of the time. But I'm going to click on this. You see when I click on the image, it gives me the ability to do this. I can actually manage its size right here. I can click the the pencil button, and I can click this. And I'm going to tell it I want it to be left. And that's going to put it in the left side. I also do not want a link on this image, so I'm going to click None. If I left it the way it came in, it's going to have the link, so when someone clicks on it, it's just going to take them to the image on another page. And that's a waste of time, because when there's a link, your viewer expects it's meaningful, it means something. So take the link out and click Update. So now you can see that I have a better alignment going on here. I'm also going to double click on Download, because I'm going to link a download to it. I might even just highlight this whole thing and let Download Our Brochure be the link. Now I'm going to click Insert, Edit, Link. You see where I'm at here. And I don't have the brochure uploaded in the library yet. So I'm actually going to click the X and cancel out of that. And I'm going to add media again. So I click on Add Media because my brochure needs to be in my library in order for me to link to it. So I have actually put a brochure in here. I'm going to slide it from my desktop into here. You can slide it from any folder or file in your computer. Alrighty, so it has uploaded. It's in great shape. It says Insert, but I'm actually not going to insert it because it is not a picture. I actually need to link to it. So I'm going to close out of here. I'm going to go back to my media library, and I'm going to capture the link to this brochure. So there's the brochure I just uploaded. Here is the file name and the file URL, which looks a little funny, so I'm going to go over here and make sure that, yep, okay, that's it. So I just wanted to make sure, for some reason it wasn't looking like it was giving me the whole URL. So I'm going to go back over here, and I am going to double click that URL, which selects it on my machine, and I'm going to copy it. Copy on a Mac is Command C. You can copy that with a Control C on a Windows machine. Now, because this is a PDF, see where it says PDF on the end here? Because this is a PDF, you're not going to see an image. It's a digital media, and so you won't see this. So with that URL selected, I'm going to go back to my new page. I'm going to select Download Our Brochure. I'm going to click this link button. This one breaks the link, or removes it, rather. This one allows you to insert a link. I am going to click on that. Now, you see that I can simply select that whole http:// you want to select it. By virtue of pasting, it's going to delete it and paste it at the same time. So on a Mac, it's Command V. On a Windows machine, it is Control V, like Victor. And so here is the URL where my digital content is stored. So I don't need a title. You can put a title in there if you want to. I don't need to. I'm going to click Add Link right here in the bottom corner. So just for grins, let me show you what the text view looks like now over here on the right hand side. See how it's all HTML? Perfectly coded. All right. Now, what I've just done is not going to create a page that is consistent with the other pages in your website if the pages in your website have been uniquely coded for a particular look and feel. You may have on your pages in your website very specific coding that has to be duplicated to create a new page. And so this administrative feature that I'm sharing with you will allow you to create basic pages and basic posts inside of your website. Anything else you're going to want to hand over to us if we have the maintenance, or if we are continuing to work with you on the evolvement of your website. All right, so I have everything like I want it here, and let me just show you in this particular theme that we use most often because of its incredible capability for being customized. There are a lot of features down here, and if you are creating a new page in your website, you will likely want these settings to be the same as they are on other settings inside of your other pages. Okay? I'm not going to do that here because that is very much a advanced level of administration, and it's not something that I'm able to teach you in this video. So over here on the right side, this little publish screen tells you when your post has been published and if it's visible, and we don't really need to do anything over here. What we want to do is click this publish button. So you see the new title of your page is right here. Okay, we don't need to do anything with that unless you wanted to change this part right here. Then you could do that, but it's not really necessary. So I'm going to go over here to the right hand corner of the website, and I'm going to click the publish button. This is now going to make this page live on your website. All right, and so depending on the speed of your service, you may wait a few minutes or you may wait a microsecond. Now, I can view that page by clicking this button right here. You can click it and it'll show you right here, or you can actually click and hold and drag and drop it in here if you don't want to lose your edit page. So you can see my welcome to my WordPress website, and you can see that I haven't changed any of the things on my to make my page look like my other pages. So in my particular website, we have very, very simple, very easy web pages. So you can see that we do not have a right-hand column over here. So if I wanted to make this one look like that, I'm going to go back over to Edit, and I'm going to show you something I just said I wasn't going to do, and show you how easy it is to remove the right sidebar. So I said select, I left it at default. So that's good. And now I'm going to press, let's see, default. Okay, so in here is full, yes, okay. And that should give me the look I am looking for. So let's hit publish, or let's hit update over here on the right side, and let's refresh, which is Command R. There we go. And you can see how it removed the right sidebar or the right column, and there's the website I created. Now let me show you something. It's very cool. So I'm hovering over my image, and because we took out the link, it's not going to click, and no one's going to be clicking randomly on it because it's not going to take them anywhere. But my hyperlink, and on this page, this is the way we have our hyperlinks set up, you can see that before it's clicked, it's a little darker text color than the rest. Yours is going to be somewhat different. Anytime you have a hyperlink, somewhat different than the rest of the text. When you hover, it is also going to change colors. And you see we go from a pointer to a little hand. So I'm going to click the link, and there's the document I uploaded. How about that? There it is. Very, very easy. So that is how you create a new page. I'm actually going to move my page to the trash can because I don't want it on here, and all I have to do is do this. And once you do this, it's gone. It is no longer a part of your website. All right. So posts are, as it says here, used for something much more time sensitive, such as your blog. And typically, that's in an average website, that's the only time post is used. There's many ways to use a post. You'll see in here we have posts, we have portfolio. It's a form of a post. It's not something that we'll be teaching you here. And unless you have a unique website where that's an important feature for the administrator to understand, we will teach you likely that one-on-one or provide a special video for you if it was included in your package. Okay, so I'm going to click Posts. Posts are something that we typically use for our blog. And so here you can see a bunch of posts that exist in the post area, and these are sample posts that are here for this demonstration purpose. But I'm going to show you how to do a new post, which is exactly the same as doing a page. You're going to put your title in the title block here. You're going to use your visual instead of your text tab, and you're going to type whatever you want in your post. Now this, let's presume this is your next blog post. So you're going to type your new blog in here. You're going to use your title tag because title tags are searchable and easily found in your search engines. So I'm going to click, whoopsie daisy. So it knows I don't want to leave this page because I haven't published it yet. So I'm going to click Stay on this page. Click this heading. Oh, okay, so I just turned that into a heading. And now I'm going to type my content. Okay? And I'm going to just do some quick little silly typing here so you can get the hang of it. Okay, so here's my new post. I want to put a picture in here to make it pretty because pictures make your post more readable. And I am going to click Add Media, and I want this picture to be underneath the title. Whoops, look at how I deleted that. So all I have to do is select that again and click Heading 1. I'm going to put my image right here next to my text. So I'm going to click Add Media. I'm going to change it up a little bit, and you know what, I'm going to put my picture in there. And see over here where it says media file, I don't want it to link to anything, so I'm going to click no linking, full size, enter. Alright, so there is my picture. Now when I click on it, I can edit it if I want to. I'm going to tell it to go left so that the text wraps. Okay, and there we have it. So my post is ready. It has its complete new URL, and I am going to hit, let's see here. Let me scroll down here and say full width. Yes. Actually, because it's a post, I'm not going to, because on most of our blogs, and yours may or may not have this, we have a sidebar, and the sidebar helps people sign up to receive your blog. The sidebar is often where people will put the archives so people can easily access archives. The sidebar is also where people may do some advertising. So this is a blog post for me, and I'm going to leave it so that a sidebar, my default sidebar, comes up. So I don't need to do any changing on the bottoms of this page. I'm ready to post. So I'm going to hit publish. As soon as it's finished, I'm going to view the post. So it's completely finished. You can tell by the fact that it says update over here. It has a date that it was published over here on the right. I am going to go to the view post. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to drag it and drop it up here. You can click it without dragging and dropping if you prefer. So here you see is my post. You can tell on this particular website we do not have a blog up here at this point, and so there is no blog. But if there was a blog, we would have the name of the blog up here, call it newsletter, could be under the about, just depends on the way your site has been structured and laid out. Over here on the right side is where you might have, you see recent posts, archives, categories. Some of this is appropriate for your site. Some of it may not be there at all. And we have options down here on what is revealed about the poster and the actual post itself. So you saw how quickly it was to add a new post to my blog. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here and I am going to go to all posts. And now you're going to see my new post because we called it title. Here it is. So that is how you add, it's that quick. You can add a blog post to your blog. And that's it for that. All right, let's go back over to our little tutorial and let's go to the next page. All right, so it's not cooperating for me. So this I created for you so that if you needed to remember what you wanted, you know, what each of the buttons were. This is how you add a page, edit a page. These are the important elements to doing that. Oh, and I forgot to share this with you, this little button here. Let's go back over here and let me show you what that is. Oftentimes you might, I'm going to go to this post I just created, you often put your post text or write your blog in a Word document or Pages document or some other word processor. And then you want to copy it and paste it here so you don't have to retype it. But if you do that, if you're copying and pasting, let's do this all over again. And this way I can show you how to do that. I'm going to open up this PDF over here. PDF is not the best document. Oh, that's the icon. PDF is not the best document to try to cut and paste from, as I'm sure that you know. So I'm going to do it anyway for speed and just so you can see how easy this is. So I'm going to copy this content. Okay, and I'm going to close it again. And I'm going to paste it. So I have my title. And I'm going to fix that in a minute. So there we go. So I have my title, and now my cursor, you can barely see it blinking there, is blinking next to my picture, and I'm going to hit text, paste as text. Paste is now in plain text mode. Content will be pasted as plain text until you toggle this off. If you're looking to paste rich content from Microsoft Word, try turning this option off. The editor will clean up pasted text from Word automatically. So Word embeds your data. When you type something into a Word document, it embeds it with code. It's quite interesting. And so you can't copy and paste without putting it in paste as text. If you don't do that, see how I don't have all of that weird formatting that you get when you copy and paste something from PDF. And when you do that from Word, you also have a bunch of weird data that makes your text do odd things unless you click paste as text. You can see how simple it is to copy and paste. And so there we are. I would hit update and it'll do the update for us. So let's go back over to all posts. Yeah, it knows I made some changes and it's warning me before I leave so I don't lose them. But I'm okay with that. So I'm going to go back over, and if there was something else I needed to edit in here, I just click it. You can click edit, or you can click the title and it'll take you right to it. Let's just say that I created this post. I'm going to show it to you. Show you what it looks like before I do anything to it. So you can see it has no image or anything, but I want to add an image to it. And I don't want to put it up here. I want to put it right here. So I just put my cursor right to the left of where I want my picture, hit add image. If I've already loaded it, it's going to show here. If I need to load it, I can drag and drop right into this screen. So I want to add a picture of the shopping cart right there, and there it is. Now I'm going to click it. I'm going to click edit. I'm going to tell it to center left because I want the text to wrap. And oops, I'm going to go back. I'm going to tell it to not link to anything at all. Update it. Now I'm going to hit update over here, and I have now very easily updated my post. So I'm going to click refresh. I'm going to scroll down, and there you have it. I could just as easily have put this over here. I can reduce the size. I can, you know what, that's very large. Let's make that smaller. In fact, I think I might like the way it looks if it's in the right. So I'm going to hit right, go update, update here, go back over here to my tab, click the refresh button, and there you have it. So that is how easy it is to edit and create new posts. Maybe yours is a newsletter. You're going to do it exactly the same way. Perhaps I want to make this title text. Maybe that is going to be my title. I'm going to click enter, put my cursor back up there. I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to make it H1. Okay. Now I'm going to update. I'm going to go back over here. When that's done spinning, I'm going to click refresh, and there it is. So this is the coding. You saw how it switched over. For some reason, this is the way these blog pages have been coded for text. So there's a setting in the main settings that other than a website designer or programmer, only a website or designer programmer should modify the settings in the back of your website. So the settings in the back of your website are right here under Appearance, under Theme Options. And these settings should not be modified by anyone except your web design and programming expert or IT people. Well, your IT people aren't going to do it, but your web people. So that's why this particular heading looks different than my page headings, because it's programmed to look different on purpose. That is the way the client wanted it. Okay, so I am going to, you can see that I can actually be on a page as long as I'm logged in as an administrator or editor or author. You'll see this black bar on every page of the website. I can edit the post from right here and click Edit Post, and it'll take me right to the page to edit. Now I'm going to move this. No, I'm not going to move this to the trash. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to take my image out of it, and there we have it. Update. Okay, so now let's go back over here and okay. So now we shall move forward. So page creation, I'm going to, I've already actually got ahead of myself. We have learned how to create the page and the post. We learned the title, how to use the visual and text editor, how to write content, how to copy content from Word or a PDF or anywhere else using the text editor button. We've added media, We've added a document for the viewer to download. We created links and we've published it to the web. So I'm going to move forward. And we've also talked about how to manage your blog, create a post, and publish your post. We've also looked at how to edit existing blog posts, so I'm going to continue to move forward, and how to manage your menu. So let's go back over, and I'm going to close up some of these opened tabs I have so it doesn't slow down our speed. And go to menus. Happen to have it open already. So menus is right here on the left side where my cursor is. You hover over appearance and you can see that under appearance is menu. So if I click menu, I'm going to get this screen that I'm on right now. This is where the menu for your website is set up. Let me show you. So I'm going to go back to my home page, and you see the menu. This is the menu bar. This menu bar is developed right here. So as we look at the menu bar, we see that the home page, About page, has a drop down. Under About is Team. On this website, there are no other drop downs. So let me show you what that looks like back here. So we have our home page. We're just going to click on this little down arrow so you can see what is inside of here. There are many different kinds of menu capacities. This particular one, and probably yours unless you have a more complex site, does not use the Fusion Mega Menu. Alrighty, so this is how this looks. I'm going to close that up. It was the About menu that had a sub-menu, so you can see the sub-menu is right here. And here are the rest of each of the navigation tabs. These are all the navigation tabs and sub-tabs in my main menu. This is how we got them there. I'm going to click, I'm going to refresh this page because we've added new pages and deleted new pages, and they will show up in this View All tab right here on the left, right here. I just want to make sure you can see my cursor. So this View All shows all of the pages that are available to be over here. Now, let's go back over here really quickly. I'm going to create a new page really quickly. Let's say that you've created a new page and you want the new page to show up so that you can add it to your menu. So I'm just going to create another new page very quickly. Okay, my new page. I'm not going to add anything just so that we can move this along very, very quickly. And we'll click Publish. I'm going to go back over here to my menus. I'm going to click Refresh again because now it's going to show up in the View All. All of the pages in your website show up right here. So you see my new title, my new page. I want to put that in my menu. So I click it and I click Add to Menu. And there it is. I want my new page to be under Services. So if I let the new page line up full left like these others, it will show up. I'm going to hit Save. It will show up on my website on the navigation bar. Okay, we don't want my new page there though. So I'm going to go back to the menus. Where we really want it is under the Services tab. So with it in the right place, all I did was grab it and slide it to the right. And you can create multiple tiers. So let's say I had 2 sub-level tiers. This About is what you'll see in the navigation bar. Team will drop down under it, and then my new page will drop down as another sub-level if I put it here. But let's just go ahead and put it under Services. And we hit Save Menu. We go over here, to my page. We have to refresh it to see it. Okay, so here's the one for About, and here's my new page under Services. And it is live and ready to go, my new page. So I am going to go back to menus. I'm going to restore it. Let's say it's been there for a while now and I've decided I no longer want it there. All I have to do is hit Remove. remove, and save menu. I'm also going to go over here to the page, my new page I created. I'm going to move it to the trash because I don't want it I don't want it cluttering or taking up storage space. I want my server to run as quickly as possible, and so I must eliminate pages that are not really a part of my website. So if I create pages and they're no longer in use and won't be, then I delete them. So that is how you create new or modify your menu. If I decided I wanted team not to be a sub-item, I just grab it, slide it over, and now it would be on my navigation bar. I would need to click Save Menu and go back to my page, my website, refresh, and I would see that it was now part of the main navigation. These items over here, I recommend you don't manage these. There's too many things, I would say too many tentacles, so to speak. They're connected in many ways to many other things and could very easily create a nightmare for you to have fixed. If you have an FAQ, right here, FAQ page, you might see some of the items right here. But I really recommend you leave all of this to your web design experts. So that is the menu structure, and that is how you navigate and manage modifying your menu. Now, I've created slides for you so that you can see them. You can take a screenshot if you want to pause your video so that you have them and you can print them. Widgets are next. Now, widgets are interesting little guys. They allow us to do a lot of things and save us a lot of time so that we don't have to hard code things that are going to repeat on a website. So widgets are also under Appearance. And I already have it up here, but you would click Widgets right here. So let's go to the widgets. And on my website, on the blog sidebar, as you saw when we posted the blog a minute ago, the post, these are the items that were in the sidebar. I can tell my sidebar to show recent posts and how many I want it to show. And it would display the most recent 5 posts. Okay, I can put a search button in there if I want, but if I don't want it, I can also slide this widget out. I'm holding on to it, sliding it, and putting it down here in the inactive widgets. Okay, so that is how we do that. Alrighty, so let's say that you decided you wanted to add something new to a sidebar. If your website has sidebars, you would drag the appropriate widget that is going to do the thing that you want it to. Let's say you want a calendar on your website or even on a particular page. You would drag this over into the appropriate space. Now, sliding bar widgets are not likely something that you will need. If you do, you will be receiving some very specific tutorial on that. Your footer widgets are here, so you can see that the contact information is Tampa Bay Web Consultants. So if I go to my web page, go down to the footer, there it is, right there, Tampa Bay Web Consultants. And so in this theme, the way it is customized is that there are footer widgets. Yours may or may not. Yours may use very highly customized HTML and CSS to achieve a different layout and a different look. So your footers may not be able to be changed this easily. If they aren't, just give us a call and we'll be happy to help you with that. So those are widgets, and that is what widgets do. I like widgets. They make flexibility on your website a little bit easier. Okay, and so next in our little tutorial is how to manage users. Okay, anyone that is able to get in to the back end of your website is a user. And the way we get there is from the dashboard. On your menu here, you click Users, and then you'll go get your list of users, and then you click Add New. Let's go ahead and go over there. So we're going to go to Users, which is here on the left. Let's just click the Users button itself. Here's a list of the users in the back of my website. There is only one administrator. Your back end, your user panel, could have multiple users depending on the responsibilities that have been assigned to the various people inside of your company and their responsibilities to certain parts and operational capacities of your website. If you have a blog administrator, they are likely to be here, and if their sole responsibility is blog administration, they may likely have a author role rather than an administrator. We recommend not using the administrator role. The administrator has carte blanche capacity to make changes and do everything inside of the back of your website. The problem with that is that you have the ability to even delete your theme, to delete important plugins, and that can happen on accident. And so because that'll completely crash your site or make it so that it is not rendering the way it needs to render, we recommend that we don't use administrators inside of the client offices. So your roles are likely editor and authors. So let me show you how easy it is to set up a new user. All right, username, and this you cannot change. Once you assign it, it is what it is. So username, in this case, I'm going to add Shur-ēē. I'm going to add my email, and it auto-populates for me. I can add my website or not, and in this case I'm not going to. And I'm going to go ahead and add a password. So it matched. And you want to send this to the user so that they have it. And a subscriber doesn't have any authority, as really all they can do is simply make their own post from the outside. And so if you put a user in here, give them a subscriber, and your blog is open to posting from outsiders, they would be able to post. But for the purpose of administrating the back end of the website, you're going to want to give someone either an editor or author. If they're simply managing the blog, author gives them plenty of abilities. They can author new pages and do almost everything, probably everything that any in-office administrator is going to want to do. If you have someone who's in charge of making modifications, putting up new pages, doing more advanced kinds of things in terms of design on the website, give them an editor status. Alrighty. So in this case, I'm the administrator of this website. I'm going to go ahead and click Administrator. I'm going to make sure I make a note of my password because I don't want to forget it. I won't be able to get in and administrate my site without it. So I'm going to click Add New User. So now you see, here I am. And I will have gotten an email with that information in it. And you can see that under this particular administrator, 7 posts have been made. That's really not all that important. It's just there. It's just information that's there. So I can go in and edit a user. I can create an admin color scheme, all these beautiful things. And I can change or update my password. I can also go in here and I can personalize my user profile. I can put my image and my picture in there, and I can reset my password. But what I cannot do is ever change my username. So I'm not going to do anything here. I just wanted to share this information with you. So let's roll back over here to our guide and see what's next. I showed you how to edit a user and areas to avoid. Let's go back over here and talk about what we want to avoid. And I'm going to be looking here in this panel. You probably want to ever avoid deleting posts. unless you accidentally made a post that you do not want there. Media, I've shown you how to use the media. I recommend you leave forms to your web design people, which is hopefully us, and your pages. This is where you add new pages. This is good for you to be. If you are using a blog and you get comments, someone from the outside, if it's open for comments, and most of the time, unless you're really running a blog-based website, we have disabled comments because there's not usually someone able to manage them. Your site may very well have them enabled, and this is where you would come in here and manage comments. You can approve them, you can trash them. I recommend that you always maintain settings that require you to approve comments. That way you can manage your blog easily, or more easily, and you don't have the kind of comments that are just spam and perhaps maybe negative comments that you don't want to have there. Alrighty, I recommend you do not edit portfolio information. If you have portfolio information that needs editing, and we've already talked about you having the editing capacity, you will receive additional training to that. The FAQs, same thing. If you have FAQs, you would edit them from here. And if you have them on your website, let me show you quickly how you do that. So you click Facts. So if you have an FAQ page, let me show you a site that does have an FAQ page. All right, 100nt.com has an FAQ page. Let's get it to the inside of their site. And we'll click on FAQ. So these FAQs are managed over here. All right? Nicely done. Okay, let's go over here to the FAQs. Every FAQ you see here is going to be here. And this is where you would edit and modify them or add new ones. Very, very similar to a post. Okay? You can also set up categories for your FAQs if you have a comprehensive FAQ library. So here is another area of portfolios. Again, I recommend, these really do require advanced support. In this website's situation, the portfolio is used for team members, and let me show you how that's used here. It's possible that your website has a team page. In some cases, the team page is using a portfolio. Let's see, here we are. And in other cases, this is probably a portfolio. In other cases, you have a portfolio of maybe office space, or you have a portfolio of your work, and it can be laid out like this. This is very comprehensively connected in the back end. And so I do recommend that if you're a novice, that you do not modify portfolio information. Okay? Yes. So this particular portfolio is for the our customers' websites that we have done. Okay? This particular one is for team members, and so all of the team members are laid out in here, and it shows up in the way I showed you on our website right here. It's a very nice feature. If you needed to add or delete a person and your team page is set up this way, then you would use that feature. It's very likely that your website is not set up that way and a different team layout has been used. And so you'll know that when you're looking over here to see what your layout is and how to modify it. Alrighty, I did not mean to do that. Okay, so appearance. Do not go to themes. Do not go to customize. Do not go to theme options. Do not install plugins and do not go to the editor. So I've shared with you the areas that we recommend you manage. As a novice, you're going to have to scale up your knowledge to simply manage the areas that we've shared with you in this video. These other areas are programmers' areas, and you need to have programming understanding and experience to use them. I have included a document for you that you should have received or will receive that tells you what's recommended if you desire to edit everything you can, that you possibly can. We have a list of what we recommend you edit. If you don't want to edit some of those areas or have control over them, that is fine too. We are absolutely happy to help you in any area that you're not comfortable with. Plugins are software. They are bundles of code that give your site very specific functionality, and we recommend that you do not edit, update, or manage those. We've talked about users. That is a safe area. Tools is something that you do not want to bother or mess with because these are all set very specifically in a certain way. And the same thing with settings. All of these settings are all set in a very specific way that provides the functionality that your website has. Sliders, please do not use the slider functions. You may be tempted to add a new slider, but that again requires a very experienced level of programming and understanding of HTML and layout, and so I recommend that you not do that. It is also very easy to accidentally delete very important slider mechanisms you have functioning in your website. Most of our websites come with a backup system. Yours may not be called Backup Buddy. It may be called something else. We also recommend you do not touch the settings or mess with in any way any of the parts of the backup. If you need to restore or you need to get a hold of a backup or you want it backed up more frequently, please contact us and we will be happy to help you with that. What you do not want to do is to lose a backup and have something go wrong. And if you accidentally modify the settings in your backup, you take the risk of not getting backups. They're very sensitive. The settings are very sensitive, and so we wouldn't want anything to happen to stop your website from backing up on a very regular basis as we have established in the backup settings. Alrighty, so we talked about areas to avoid, and this is the end of your video tutorial. I recommend that you write down any questions that you have that represent additional information you need in order for the customized options that may be in your website. This is your video to use as you need it. Please save the link to it so that you can refer to it as frequently as you need. I hope this has been helpful. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need support. Call us, and we appreciate your referrals. Your referral is the largest compliment you can possibly pay to us. Our business is nearly 100% driven by referrals and people like you. And so we thank you so much for trusting us with your website. Thank you very much for allowing us this time to share with you how you can use it. Good day.